What if a plant had to count to 5 before deciding whether to eat, and another quietly did math each night just to stay alive? Greetings, seekers of the strange. Welcome to Beyond Bizarre. I'm your host, taking you past normal, beyond weird, into the absolutely mind-blowing. Today we're diving into nature's hidden skill, plants that can count. Stay with me for the moment where a carnivorous plant tallies electric pulses like a tiny living calculator. We think of counting as a brain thing, fingers, numbers, clocks. Plants have none of that. Yet some measure, tally, and even compute with chemistry and electricity, from traps that won't snap unless the number is right, to leaves that budget food with arithmetic under starlight. This is not metaphor, it's survival. First, the legend of the swamp, the Venus flytrap. Each trap has delicate trigger hairs. One touch, nothing. 2 touches within about 20 seconds. Snap. That 2 is not superstition, it's a built-in safeguard. The plant fires tiny electrical impulses, and the second pulse within that short window confirms. Not raindrop, not dust, prey. Then it gets stranger. Once the trap closes, the plant keeps counting further touches from the struggling insect. 3, 4, 5. Those extra pulses flip on a hormonal cascade, jasminator signals, and the plant ramps up digestive enzymes. More pulses, more enzyme production. It's a tally system encoded in electricity, translated into chemistry, and it determines how hard the plant should digest. Efficient, ruthless, and absolutely real. But the flytrap isn't the only green mathematician. Out in the daylight, ordinary leaves act like solar panels, storing energy as starch. Night falls, photosynthesis stops, and every plant faces a problem. How do you spend your savings so you don't starve before dawn? Arabidopsis, a small mustard plant that's a lab superstar, solves it with arithmetic. Researchers showed that at night, the plant sets a consumption rate equal to the starch it has divided by the hours until morning. A biochemical version of arithmetic division. If darkness arrives earlier than expected, the plant recalculates, slows the burn, and still reaches dawn with just about 0 left. No brain, no calculator, just molecules carrying information, how much starch, how many hours, and a network that computes the ratio. It's math for survival. And if that sounds like a one-off trick, there's an even older plant talent that's colder. Winter is a countdown. Many plants won't flower until they've counted enough cold. This process, vernalization, runs like a molecular odometer, tallying weeks of low temperature. Inside cells, specific genes that block flowering are gradually silenced by biochemical marks as cold accumulates. When the tally is high enough, the block lifts. Spring flowers. In orchards, growers talk about chill hours, hundreds to over 1,000 hours below a threshold temperature that a variety needs before it will bloom reliably. It's not a calendar date, it's a counted dose of winter. Plants also measure the length of day using light-sensitive molecules, comparing night to day, night after night, until the total tips a hidden decision. Now. Together, these systems are less like a calendar on a wall and more like a molecular abacus. Each cold hour, each long night, each cue added up until the balance clicks. Let's circle back to electricity, because plant numbers aren't just chemical, they're electric. In the Venus flytrap, those action potentials aren't metaphorical. They're bona fide electrical spikes, traveling through the trap lobes and timing out over roughly 20 seconds. That delay is short-term memory held by waves of calcium inside cells. The second spike within that window says "real prey," and the plant snaps shut, then keeps tallying. 3 to 4 spikes kick off hormone signaling. 5 or more ramps up genes for proteases and chitinases, enzymes that break down muscle and shell. It's a layered code. 2 to decide, more to digest. And plants elsewhere use frequency codes too. In tiny pores on leaves called stomata, guard cells listen to calcium pulses. Different pulse frequencies open or close those pores, gating water loss and gas exchange. In other words, counting beats leads to action. No neurons required. Here's the holy wow. These aren't cute analogies. Plants compute with time and quantity. They encode a number in the frequency of electrical or chemical pulses, and then decode it to make a decision that keeps them alive. A trap that won't waste energy unless the tally says meal. A leaf that won't starve because it divided what it has by the hours left. A bud that won't bloom until winter's counter has truly clicked over. Counting, not with brains, but with signals, thresholds, and memory that lives in molecules. Quick hits to keep your curiosity buzzing. The Venus flytrap's memory of a touch lasts for roughly 20 seconds, a calcium-based timer that turns a second tap into a decision. Many fruit and nut trees are bred with specific chill hour requirements. Growers choose varieties whose cold count matches their climate, or flowering fails. Stomata don't just respond to how strong a signal is, but how often it arrives, decoding the frequency of calcium spikes to regulate breathing and water use. So, what do we make of it? Plants count touches, pulses, hours, and seasons, and they do it with exquisite efficiency. We met a hunter that tallies shocks before eating, a humble weed that divides its dinner so the pantry lasts till dawn, and a forest that waits, counting winter before bursting into bloom. Which of these blew your mind the most? And does this change how you think about intelligence in life without a brain? Drop your thoughts below. I read them all. If you're into the eerie elegance of hidden systems, tap subscribe and share this with a friend who loves weird science. And that's another journey beyond bizarre. If your mind is officially blown, smash that subscribe button because there's a lot more of our bizarre world we will discover together. Until next time, keep pushing beyond the ordinary.